Welcome. Hey, how the fuck are you? I'm Paul McKay.
Thank you, Zoom. Yeah, you said you were finishing up an audition. I'm assuming that's for voiceovers.
Yes.
Okay, very nice. All right, so we're going to circle back to that later.
Cool.
But first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Episode 114 of the kPodcast and the kPodcast. We got the illustrious E-Turn with us today. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Very, very well.
Good.
It's been a little bit in the making. I know we kind of had some back and forth trying to get you on here, but like we said, everyone's got busy lives, completely understandable. We're happy to have you here today.
Yes, thank you. The hustle is real.
The hustle is very real, which we'll also circle back to. So I told you a little bit off mic. Typically, how I like to start these episodes is what I call the ones and twos. So I'm going to throw out two options just to kind of loosen you up, let the audience get to know you a little bit. And obviously, if you can't choose between either or, just, both is fine. There's no penalty or anything like that.
Cool.
So, first question, day or night?
Dang, that's hard.
And
I
it's
like
whatever
both.
context you
Like,
want to take it in.
yeah, it's like day for certain things, night for certain things. Like, I'm an artist, so the nightlife has been very big part of my life. And I don't mean that, well, that has been in the past. I don't mean that in a like partying way, obviously.
Right.
Quit drinking a couple years ago, so that lifestyle is not really a part of my life anymore.
There you go. Congrats.
But just nightlife as far as shows and touring and stuff like that. So night is, I want to say night. I'm not really a morning person.
Okay.
Trying to get more of a become more of a morning person as I get older. But yeah, but then the daytime, the sun is so important.
Right. Got to
It's
get that
literal
vitamin D.
medicine. It is literally good. It's literally necessary for our mental health. And I like the beach and I like nature, but then I like nature at night too, the stars and I can't choose, man. They're both very much necessary.
That's fair. We can go both, day and night. Shouts to Kid Cudi.
Yeah, yeah.
We going sweet or salty?
I guess I'm just a very balanced person, huh?
Going both.
I guess I'll go with salty. I
Okay.
like my sweets, but like I more so crave good food.
That satiating salty flavor.
Yeah,
All right. Well, speaking of flavor, we going tacos or burgers?
tacos.
Tacos, very nice. What about fruit or veggies?
Hmm. I'll say fruit. I
Okay.
love my veggies, but avocados are like a superfood and like our life, and that's a fruit. So we'll go fruit.
There we go. Beach. You mentioned beach earlier, but we going beach or mountains?
Mountains.
Okay. Damn, I didn't expect that coming from a Florida girl.
Yep. Never got used to this heat my entire life.
That's fair.
Mountains are just so like, I mean, the ocean is very majestic as well, just the vastness of it, but mountains, I don't know, something about it that is very majestic.
Yeah, very
And
much
being
so.
able to like stand like, when you're looking out over the ocean, it's very flat, I guess.
It's kind of
And
monotonous in a way.
yeah, go up on a mountain, you can just see so much and you get closer to the stars and yeah.
Right. No, yeah, both fucking amazing, that's for sure.
Hmm.
So sunrise or sunset?
Hmm. Sunrise.
Sunrise, very nice.
The mark of a new day and new opportunities and new things to be grateful for. So yeah,
East Coast life.
yeah.
Coffee or tea? You can also say neither if none of them are your cup of tea, pun intended.
I mean, I love coffee, but I feel like tea is something you can drink all the time.
Right.
And I'm Iranian. My dad is Iranian, at least I'm half. And tea is like,
Life.
that's all Persians do. Yeah, tea is life. So we'll go
Yeah.
with tea.
Oh, that's a good point. Tea has like a much wider variety. Caffeine, or I mean, coffee is just like caffeine,
Hmm.
unless you're doing decaf, I guess, and you're a psychopath. But tea is kind of like, you know,
Yeah. And I mean coffee has a wide variety too. Like I have not like this big connoisseur, but I've gone down the rabbit hole of like trying all these different coffees and learning about it. And there's a lot of good coffee and different flavors and how you roast it and the origins of it. Like coffee's cool. I
yeah.
love coffee. But
You have
yeah,
Turkish
I
coffee with the grains at the bottom and all that.
Woo! Yeah, it's good.
That's next level.
Yeah. Aren't you Middle Eastern of some sort?
No, I get that a lot actually. People think
Oh,
I'm
okay.
either Middle Eastern or Italian. I'm
Gotcha.
Dominican and primarily Czech.
Oh, okay, cool.
Random mix, but
You
yeah,
know, there's a lot of Middle Eastern, Arab, Lebanese people that are Dominican, that their roots are
true.
like I have a homie who his he's from Dominican Republic, his parents, his grandparents, they're Dominican, but their roots are Lebanese and
Okay.
family and stuff like that. Yeah, so apparently there's a lot of like Lebanese people from Dominican Republic.
Huh. I did not know that. That's good to
Yeah.
know. I figured it's typically like either Spanish, obviously, African, or Taino, the natives. But that's good to
Yeah,
know. I think my Dominican background is primarily from Spain because I know it was Ramirez down the line. Anyway,
gotcha.
going on the tangent.
Yes,
Um,
that makes sense for the skin tone.
right, yeah. Yeah, I thank my grandmother for my skin. This one I believe I know the answer, but we'll see. Hip hop or classic rock?
Hip hop.
That's right.
That's right.
By the way, yeah, we'll get to the merch later, but a
Yeah.
little shameless plug. Reggae or dancehall?
Hmm. Reggae.
Okay, very nice. We going sailboat or speedboat?
Sailboat.
Sailboat. Take it easy. Take it
Exactly.
easy.
Exactly.
TV or movies?
Movies.
Okay.
I'd like to be in and out, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
like shows. Look, trust me, I like getting invested in shows, right? And the story drags out and you get closer to the characters and I like shows as well, but being busy, I don't feel like I can really stay invested in shows as much as I can just be like, I just want to enjoy some nice film and be in and out.
Right. No, yeah, this era of binge watching is next level, especially like, you know, they'll have mountains of seasons. So once I start a show, I feel like I kind of have to finish it. Even if it
Yeah.
ends up sucking, it's like, you know what, I've made this commitment. Here
Yep.
I am. And then yeah, 3 weeks goes by and you're like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah. Where are all these hours of my life?
Right. For water, look at that, right on time. We
Let's
going still
go.
or sparkling?
Dang.
That was
Gonna
funny
go
how
with
that worked out.
still. I like sparkling,
You like
I'm
sparkling water?
fancy. I'm cultured, but
You're a
I like
La
La Croix. I'll go with still though. I feel
Okay.
like it's better for you and when you just need that hydration, it's
Yeah,
yeah,
the
still.
OG water.
Yeah,
We going for books, like physical book or audio book?
physical.
Hell yeah. Let's see what else we got here. We'll get into some hip hop stuff. We going locks or dipset?
Neither.
No,
At this
hey,
point
you
in
can say neither. You can say both, whatever.
at this point in my life, I'd say neither. I'm definitely
Okay.
like in a very different space with hip hop and the type of stuff that I'll listen to and feed my brain and even just like the caliber of rap that I'll listen to. I'm such a snob. Um, but back in the day, I definitely listened to both. And I would say Locks.
Okay. So back in the day, E's going locks. Today is going
None.
respectfully neither.
Yes. Respectfully neither.
So Pharrell or Timbaland?
Timbaland. Because I love Aaliyah and yeah,
Okay. Shouts to Timbo.
yeah,
We go in, and these are all over the place if you haven't realized.
they
Uh,
are.
BB King or Ray Charles?
Probably say Ray Charles. I feel like I know I'm a little more familiar with Ray Charles and know more of his music.
Okay.
And like shouts to being a blind person just,
Right.
crushing everything.
Right. No, 100%. It's still, yeah, I still can't wrap my head around that. I need to
It's
go
crazy.
rewatch that movie.
Yeah.
We got some throwbacks here too. Barney or Big Bird?
That's tough actually, because I grew up on both.
Right.
Uh I gotta go with Big Bird. Barney was kind of like the one that you were like, I don't watch Barney, but like Sesame Street is just like so classic and it's still
Universally
classic.
accepted.
Yeah, yeah. It's like Barney was kind of like, and then you start getting older and you're like, I don't watch Barney, but you still secretly watch it. But like
Right.
if you're watching Sesame Street, I don't know. I feel like you get away with it more.
That is a great point, actually. I've never really thought about that. They're both kid shows, but Sesame Street was kind of accepted,
Yeah.
into like later childhood. Yeah, you're watching Barney, people
Yeah.
are like, oh, fucking nerd.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I feel like they had guests like celebrities on it,
Right.
and it was just like it blended into culture more.
That is very
And
true.
even like street culture, urban culture, hip hop culture, like I
Right.
feel like it blends
Sesame
in
Street.
street. It's more street, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was big into both. I feel like I would probably lean Big Bird as well.
Yeah.
Dogs or cats?
Cats. I have a cat, and
Okay,
his name's
very nice.
Rhyme. I love dogs though too. I love dogs, but
I have a dog who thinks she's a cat.
oh, I have a cat who thinks he's a dog.
Really?
Yes, he does tricks
That's
for
hilarious.
treats.
Hey, smart cat.
He's a smart cat. Well, he's a hungry cat, so cats and dogs are both very smart, but he's obsessed with food, so he'll do anything for food. So hence, you can teach a cat that is obsessed with food to do tricks.
Nice. Its name's not Garfield, is it?
No, it's rhyme.
Rhyme. Very nice.
I
Another throwback, Ninja Turtles or Power Rangers?
feel like this parallels the Big Bird
Yeah,
uh Barney thing. Like I'm gonna go with Ninja Turtles because that's classic. And like, I mean, Power Rangers is classic too, but I think it's cooler than Power Rangers. Power Rangers was like, I don't know, you could still watch Ninja Turtles today and be cool. Power
right.
Rangers is more
100%.
less window there.
100%. Ninja Turtles had like, at least with Michelangelo, had some humor in there. They got martial
Yeah,
arts, they got pizza, they got humor.
they got pizza, yeah.
Right. What else do you need? The cheesiest fucking pizza you've ever seen in your life.
And
Right.
it blends more generations. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
Like
true.
same with the Barney and Big Bird. Like Ninja Turtles blend more generations. My brother watched it growing up. I watched it, my older brother, you know what I'm saying? So we connected on that. We didn't connect on Power Rangers. Even though
Right.
I feel like he was probably kind of low key watching it in the background. Like, I don't watch that. It was for kids, but Ninja Turtles we connected on.
Right. And the epiphany that I had later in life when you realize they're all named after famous artists, it's kind of just like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we didn't know that growing up.
did not. Um, Podcast or radio?
Podcast,
Very
clear
nice.
channel.
And you don't got to be biased just because we're on a podcast right now.
Nah, podcast. You can you know, more choices. I mean, is it like radios you listen to what's on, right? I don't know what radio is these days. I don't ever
Yeah.
listen to the radio.
I say this on I've said this on many episodes. The only radio I listen to is WCF 89.9. I don't know if you
Yeah.
know that station. That's like pretty much the only radio that I actively listen to. Because
Yeah. Is that
podcast,
the
to your
jazz
point,
station?
yeah, it's run off UCF campus. They primarily do
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
jazz. It's kind of talk radio a little bit, some NPR plugs and stuff, but it's primarily jazz and kind of chill, vibey music. Definitely good
Cool.
stuff.
Yeah. Also 91.5, the local Rollins College radio station. I used
Okay.
to co-host a show with my boy Conscious.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's been on air with my hip hop show for like ever. And yeah, so it's the Rollins station, similar obviously, but they have just an entire, it's just different from every 2 hour block. It's like whatever.
That's
Hip
is that
hop,
WPRK?
WPRK, yep.
Okay. I've heard of them too. I don't listen to it much, but I've definitely heard of it.
It's good stuff.
But to your point, I think podcasts offer more flexibility and just different, you know, there's a little bit of something for everybody.
Yeah,
Where to
yeah.
look, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. And podcast is obviously more about talking, right?
Yeah.
Learning, talking, and I guess, we grew up listening to radio for music, not really talk. I didn't really grow up listening to talk radio, so different things.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I don't know if you've seen Pineapple Express. They joke about how boring talk radio is. Like, literally, you killed
Yeah.
the car battery listening to talk radio. Which I understand to a certain extent, but kind of to your point, podcast, it's almost like a modern version of talk radio.
Yeah,
And what I'll try to do with this podcast specifically, being a musician, is almost integrate the music with the conversation, you know? So, like at the
yeah.
beginning of the episode, I'll feature one of your songs, whichever one you want me to play. And then
Cool.
I'll do solo episodes where I won't have guests, in which case I'll play new music, artists that I like who have put out new projects, singles, whatever the case, try to showcase and shine a light on the music that I like, you know?
Very cool. I like that.
Um, all right, we just got a few more here. We going, you mentioned avocado earlier, so we going guacamole or salsa?
Guacamole.
Okay.
I do love salsa though too.
Yeah,
Depends on my mood, honestly. Sometimes like avocado, you're like, all right, I've had enough avocado for the week. But yeah, as far as like taste, like it's delicious and it's so nutritious. So we're gonna go with that.
that's fair. I do love both. I feel like it's been getting better recently, knock on wood, but there was a while there where if I ate any sort of avocado substances, including guacamole, it would fuck my stomach up. And it was pissing me off
Really?
because I love avocado as well.
It's healthy. That's crazy.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what it was. I feel like it's been
Might be the
getting better lately.
pesticides.
Huh?
I said it might
Pesticide?
be the pesticides.
You might be onto something there.
But
Um,
you're good now. You can eat it now.
yeah, I just had avocado, or I had guacamole actually, 2 days ago, and yeah, I felt fine. It's weird.
Hmm. Did you get tested for an allergy or anything?
I didn't.
Because I think a friend of mine actually said she might have an avocado allergy. And so maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it never made me like when I think of food allergy, I think, the swelling or you break out in a rash or anything. None of that ever happened. It would just
Mm,
like my stomach would hurt afterwards, and I don't know
mm,
what it is. And I know like my sister developed celiac later in life, so I feel like the
mm.
human body's just so weird the way, But like you
Changes.
said, also the way that foods change and the way that they're grown and handled by the manufacturers and shit like that, you never know what's going in there.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like sometimes we can't even be healthy eating produce
Right.
because there's
Like
so much
organic, but
pesticide.
it's rolled through puddles of pesticide. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean? Like it's fucking
Yeah,
scary.
it is. Well, yeah, I mean, and minus the talk about organic, conventional, you're thinking like, well, it can't be that bad, right? But you might be like poisoning yourself if you're buying certain conventional produce.
Right.
It's crazy. Freaking Roundup and everything. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, not to go too far down the rabbit hole, but I definitely got glyphosate, not poisoning per se, but like I
Yeah.
got blood testing. I used to do this job where I was spraying chemicals, and they found out
Oh,
that glyphosate had gotten in my system and my levels were jacked, and that was the reason why. It's super fucked up.
that's really messed up. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
we're all
It's
good
so
now.
scary how you can have jobs that can kill you like that. Like,
Right. They're like, yeah, don't worry about it. Just take a shower later, wash your clothes, you'll be fine. Yeah, I don't think so, buddy.
wild, man. Yeah, I have my dad's really good friend worked in the dry cleaning business for a long time, and that stuff
Gnarly.
is
Gnarly.
very toxic, and he's riddled with cancer for years now, and they
Wow.
keeps getting surgery and chemo and treatment, and it keeps coming back, and it's wild, man.
Yeah.
Wild stuff.
I mean, asbestos, lead-based paint. They're putting this stuff in like kids' schools, and
And all our stuff's like California, what is it called? The 65 Proposition 65. I don't know what it's called. You know what I'm talking about?
I
Where they
feel like
put the warning label on like it's pretty much it's in like a lot of plastic stuff or I don't know exactly what the
the
material is, but
PFAS,
it's what's that?
the PFAs, PFAS, like the
I don't think
forever chemicals.
that's what it is. I'm gonna look it up because I want to know. Yeah, it's the Proposition 65's California law that requires businesses to provide warnings about exposure to chemicals known to cause cancer or reproductive harm. Um, yeah, and it's like on everything. It's crazy. It's on everything.
Yeah, it's a world of madness that we live in.
Indeed.
Um, all right, just a few more. Nas or Hove?
Nas.
Oh yeah, Queen
Just because
Latifah.
like that's who I grew up listening to and like Illmatic, and he definitely inspired me when I started rapping. And I'll be honest, like when I was younger, a big part of it was like, ooh, Nas is fine, you know? But nah, it's always been Nas.
No, that's fair. I definitely have the CD still, the hard CD of Illmatic in my car, and I refuse to take it
Nice.
out because it's fucking classic.
For sure.
And I do enjoy Hove as well, but I think I lean Nas. I discovered Nas first, and yeah, he's just stuck with me much longer. I know much
Same.
more of his catalog.
And it
Uh,
came from my older brother. Like my older brother was the one that really fed me a lot of the 90s hip hop because I was younger and he was Nas. So he had the Nas CDs. So that was what I leaned into, that's what was around.
no, yeah, absolutely. And you probably look up to your older brother, like, oh, you like Nas? I like Nas.
Oh yeah, for sure. I wanted to be my older brother. He was so cool. He's a
Oh,
skater, so
nice. Well, actually, yeah, we'll get to that a little bit. I was listening to one of your old interviews as I was doing my research, and I was hearing you talk about him being a pro, like inline skater.
mm-hmm,
That's
mm-hmm.
fire. That's super fire. And it's funny how integrated skating culture is with hip hop culture. Like
Yup,
they're kind of not the same thing, but they're in the same atmosphere. The
they
same
are.
like they intertwine so much.
Yeah, skating's kind of like a sub element of hip hop, like a sub part of the culture for
Right.
sure.
Because
Yeah.
it's a sport, but it's also an art form,
Mm-hmm.
interestingly enough. Yeah, I grew up
Yep.
skating, so honestly, I feel like that's kind of how I got into hip hop, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Nice. Nice, nice.
Queen Latifah or MC Light?
Queen Latifah.
Shouts to the Queen.
Queen.
Um,
Bahamadia. Can I say Bahamadia instead of
yeah, you can say whatever you want. Introduce a option C.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Just a shout out Bahamadia because I didn't know about her growing up. And then when I learned who she was, she's a little more like underground, obviously, but she's dope.
Okay. No, yeah, definitely. Whatever your preference is, that's what this is about. Just getting us to know Etern.
Word.
Smoothie or milkshake?
Smoothie.
Smoothie all day.
I mean, I love my ice cream, but like At this point in my life, I can't choose the unhealthier option. I'm
Right.
just like smoothie, you put the nutrition in it, you know what I'm saying? You can make them taste good.
There you go. Little
But I am
chocolate.
obsessed with ice cream. What's that?
I was gonna say put the chocolate or vanilla protein in the smoothie, so it gives you that sweet taste, but it's like healthier kind of.
There you go. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely an ice cream fiend myself. You know what? Actually, my girl put me onto this. You can blend up cottage cheese and then add some sort of protein and freeze it, and it's like a healthy ice cream with some protein and stuff in there. It still has the sweet taste. It's actually super gas.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's what I
try that.
that's what I've been on
Like
lately.
you gotta give me the recipe for that.
Yeah, no, she just taught me how to make it because I think she got sick of making it for me all the time. So I've been doing
Yeah,
it
she's like, here,
myself
bro.
lately. Yeah, here you go. You're an adult. You can figure this out. It's really easy actually, but yeah, I'll shoot it over to you when we're done. It's pretty gas. Put a little peanut butter on there, some pecans or something.
Yeah. I'm
Good
all
stuff.
about the delicious hacks for stuff like
Right,
terrible food that I love.
right,
So,
exactly. Um, you like chicken wings?
just
We
had some
going
last night.
we going flats or the drums?
You know, as I've gotten older, I've become a flat girl.
Okay,
Used to be drums, but flats.
yeah.
It's got the more flavor, it's got the more skin and it's more tender.
I've always enjoyed the flats, especially when I learned that trick where you can like some people just do it with their teeth, but you
Like
can like push it down and yeah, rip all that shit off. It's fucking next level.
it is next level. By
Next
the way,
level.
life hack, don't ever eat chicken wings on a first date because it's just never cute.
Yeah, bunch of sauce, bunch of
You're
meat
just
in
like,
your teeth.
there's no cute way to eat chicken wings, bro. Like,
That's hilarious. And I definitely believe. I don't know if I've done that. I hope not. And if I did to any past dates, I apologize, but I can just picture it now.
mm-hmm.
It is a fucking barbarian.
Sauce all over your
All right, last one with fruit juice. We going pulp or pulp free?
Hmm.
Or some pulp right in the middle.
Hmm. I guess I'll pick some pulp because here's the thing, it's back to the healthy stuff. Like technically with pulp, it's healthier because that's why juice is not really healthy because you take out the fiber and your body's not able to process it the same way, so it spikes your blood sugar.
Right.
So the healthier route is I don't even know if it is because like if since it's juice anyway, but to have fiber mixed in with the sugar helps your
Right.
body supposedly process it better and not spike your blood sugar as much. So you know what? I'm just gonna be a rebel right now and be like, no pulp,
Give me
F
sugar.
fiber.
No, yeah, and I feel like with the pulp and the fiber, it low key reminds you what you're drinking. Like this is from a fruit, this is
Yeah,
concentrate, this is fucking fruit.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love juice
Facts.
the way. All right.
It is
Well,
good.
that wraps up the ones and twos. Appreciate your responses. Got to know you a
Yes.
little bit better.
Yes.
But now we can jump into the story that is E-Turn. So I first met you, I want to say I saw you freestyling back, this was years ago. I don't know how many years, at the Commission Beer Chamber.
Hmm.
It was like a cipher was going on or something. I think I just pulled up on a whim. That might have actually been my first time there ever.
Oh, nice.
And I heard your voice, and like, no offense, you're not a big person, so I don't even think I saw you because you're, you're like below the crowd. I'm like, who the fuck is rapping right now? But you have such a powerful voice and presence. I was like, this girl's
Thank you.
dope.
That's so funny. That's a great way to describe me. I couldn't even see her, but I heard her.
No, right. And ever since then, I was kind of tapped into who you were, and then I think I kind of re-met you later through Sean Shakespeare, Eighth Letter, all the
Mhm.
homies, and
The
then we did
homies.
um the Friends of the French joint together.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
His
Yeah.
shirt.
Yeah.
Hip hop is my love language. Get you merch.
Yeah. Genius merch idea, guys.
No, it is, honestly.
Shameless plug. Yeah, it's my biggest seller for sure.
No.
I need to run some ads on it and just like actually try to sell a ton of them. You know, Temu and Shein and Amazon finally stole my freaking shit.
They
They
stole your
like,
design?
yeah, it's not as nice though, but for the longest time, if you Googled that, I was the only one that existed for years.
Right.
And then I looked it up again recently, and sure enough, it's on like Shein and Temu and Amazon.
Wow.
Yeah, yo. And I'm like, I don't know if I can what's the word?
Like claim
Trademark it.
intellectual property or something.
Yeah, yeah. So I need to look into that. I looked into it at one point, but I don't know. Yeah, they stole my shit.
Yeah, that's actually insane. I mean, in a weird way, that's a compliment to you.
Hmm.
You know, they've seen your shit and they see like how dope it is, so they're trying to emulate it. But at the same time, as yourself, you're probably like, "What the fuck?
It
That
was
that's
only a
my
matter of
merch."
time.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Um, but no, so I wanted to know, I don't really know how you got started, what influenced you to start making music. It sounds like your brother probably played a big part in that. So just start
Hmm.
me back with young E-Turn. You said, "You know what? I want to start making music." I got a little bit of the story from Eternity turning into E-Turn from the last
Yeah.
interview I was watching.
Which interview was that? With Varys or
It
something?
was
Or
the one you were in LA, underground hip hop.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
But yeah, give us the
Um,
lowdown for the Pod Squad listeners that don't know.
Pod Squad. Yeah, so I've always been like naturally a singer. Like I've
Okay.
been singing since I was a baby, and I always had like natural pitch. As soon as I could actually sing, like when I was a kid, I've always had natural pitch. It just kind of came naturally to me. And it runs in my family. My dad is a singer, never got classically trained or anything. He just always naturally could sing. My mom plays guitar, and my brother, he's a skater, but he wrote raps growing up. So he's one of the people that sparked that in me. And my grandfather on my dad's side was my kind of a famous poet in Iran. So there's a lot of artistry, especially writing and vocal arts in my family history. So yeah, I've always sang for as long as I can remember, and I always wanted to be a singer and performer. So it's been a part of my life, my whole life. And then I started rapping in middle school in I think seventh grade. And I say it in one of my raps, seventh grade detention, writing rhymes on the desk. I just played that song recently for the first time in like years live. So
Oh.
and was reminded it kind of goes hard.
Right, I'm the shit since seventh grade.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, I started writing. I back then I was listening to like Nas, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Tupac, Coolio was like
Oh yeah,
one of my first CDs because that
from
was my
Nickelodeon.
age. What's that?
You got onto him from Nickelodeon, from
No,
Easy
from
Go.
just Gangsta's Paradise that blew up,
Um,
that song, which was from Dangerous Minds, the movie, but I hadn't seen the movie, I don't think back then, because I was kind of young, but maybe I did. My mom used to let me watch wild shit. But anyway, Gangsta's Paradise just blew up and is a
yeah,
popular song. And then like Eminem, which how the hell did I have an Eminem CD in fifth grade? Like that shit
especially
was,
his early stuff.
oh my gosh, bro. I
It's
don't know how I
crazy.
got away with that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So yeah, I was just like, this is cool. Nas is cool, Tupac's cool, all these people are dope. Lauryn Hill was another one. I'm like, I could rap, I could write. I've always been into writing poetry. I've always been like into writing and I've always been good at like English, language arts or whatever.
Right.
And I started writing raps in seventh grade. I remember like being in detention writing raps and passing it over to my friends and being like, read this, tell me if it's good. And it was terrible. It was trash. It was trash back then. I was like, I bust guns and
Yeah.
no, I was like,
Yeah, trying to emulate
terrible.
the stuff you're hearing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Terrible. Um,
Selling crack as a
yeah, 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 yeah. little do you know, later in my life. No. But yeah, it was an interesting time.
So as a kid singing, I'm assuming you started like in other genres and then you kind of morphed into hip hop and started writing the rhymes more, or I know you sing on a lot of your hooks, which is still hip hop,
Mhm.
obviously, even though it's singing.
Yeah, I mean, I've been singing, like I said, forever. So my whole childhood was like le learning songs or listening to it all the time that I know them by heart and just like singing all the time.
Right.
Singing, I would bust out in a song whenever, like, oh, do you want to hear me sing? Like, listen how good I am. Uh, but then with rap, I just started doing, I'm trying to think like if I had, I'm sure I had songs written for like singing before I started writing raps, but I don't know. It
For
doesn't stand
singing,
out a lot
I
for
feel
me.
like it's more commonplace for people to do covers,
Exactly.
which makes
Especially when
sense.
you're younger like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. Because then
Yeah.
hip hop, if you can do covers, but it's almost like karaoke. And in hip hop, it's kind of looked down upon to like, oh, you don't write your shit, like what
Yeah.
you doing?
Or even to perform hip hop covers, that's like a novelty. Like if you're gonna do a themed show or something like that, I feel like it's
Right,
cool. But if you're doing gigs, like a lot of musicians will do cover gigs because
right,
they get paid and people want to sing along, and rappers don't really have that,
right.
So it's a
It's
good
interesting
point for
how that
sure.
works. I never really thought about that before right now.
Yeah, I've thought about it a lot because of obviously being singer and rapper and doing these DTO live gigs that I've been doing with the city. And I'm
Right.
like, I don't really do cover music. It's a very different thing to do gigs, to be gigging
Do people
as a hip
request
hop
covers
artist.
from you when you're doing those shows?
What's that?
Do people request covers from you when you're doing those DTO shows?
No, I haven't really gotten any requests, but I do have the idea that um I'm doing them like once or twice a month. And as a as an independent artist, you don't want to oversaturate yourself anywhere, especially like locally. Like people aren't going to come to your shows if you're playing 10 times a month and you're playing your original music and whatever. So I don't know. For me, there's a little bit of dissonance with playing multiple times a month. So what I think I'm going to do is only do cover music for
Mm,
the DTO stuff, which people don't get to see at my shows. If
right.
you come out to a show, I'm opening for a homie that's touring or I got an album release or whatever, uh, original music. And then for the gig stuff, which is like a busking style street performing, just cover music. So I'm working on getting that together.
That's
Um,
actually smart because then you'll probably attract people we walking by. Oh, I know that song, and they'll like maybe want to sing along with you or whatever. That's actually pretty smart.
and then if they follow me online and be like, oh shit, this
Oh,
girl raps her ass off. Like
right.
it's a nice surprise for people. But I feel like I got off like what your original question was. Sorry, kind of
No, you're good. And
tangent
shout out to you,
queen.
by the way. I just applied for that shit
Oh,
the other day.
cool, cool,
Yeah,
cool,
you had
cool,
sent
cool.
me that link, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt.
But no, you didn't get off topic. I mean, I'm just trying to give the listeners a little bit of background on where you got started. So started started rapping specifically in seventh grade. When did you start penning your own? Well, not maybe not penning your own songs, but like performing and recording and releasing your own music.
That happened around when I was like, well, I started performing cover stuff when I was 17.
Hmm.
Um, I was doing that with a friend of my dad's who's a really good flamenco Spanish guitarist, and so that was my first introduction to performing. And then around the same time, like a little bit later, maybe a year or two later, I started hitting up the open mic circuit. There was this open mic, I don't even remember what it was called, but it was at 54 West. And they had an open mic, and that's where all like I'm having cool nostalgia right now because I haven't thought about it in a while, but that's where I met so many of the artists that I know these days that have been around forever, the OGs, like um Midas the Beast and Am and Zarism and just all these cats from back then that I was like a little younger than them, and it's like my introduction to the hip hop scene in Orlando was open mics around 18 or 19.
Very nice. And
Yeah.
that's how it starts. Typically, you start with open mics, kind of get your chops up. Then you
Yep.
start getting your own shows, or other people are reaching out to you to get booked on their shows and stuff. And if all goes well, you're selling out fucking arenas.
Yeah. Good luck with that one. It takes that's this dream we've been sold, but in general, like artists are working for at least a decade, hardcore, hungry work until before something happens, you
No, yeah,
know?
absolutely. When I've
Yeah.
been to a few of your shows outside of the Friends of the Friends joint that we did, because that was kind of like almost like guerrilla style, the way that we
Hmm.
were outside and all that, which is obviously part of hip hop. And I think everyone had a great time. But I've seen you perform at Will's Pub numerous times. And I actually went to the show you had opened up for Snow the Product at
Oh
Plaza
yeah, yeah. That
years
was cool.
ago. What would you say is the biggest show you've done thus far?
Hmm. Probably opening up for Mob Deep, I would say.
Ooh. They just
And
put
that
out a
was
new
like,
album, right?
I think so, but which is weird because Prodigy, rest in peace.
Yeah,
But I think that was
posthumous.
like pretty not that long before he died. I opened for him with SPS.
Wow.
And sadly, it was a terrible show. He was like wasted, and our sound was like destroyed. We did a sound check and everything. And by the time we got on stage, our like sound wasn't working and they couldn't figure it out. And
Hmm.
it was awful. It was so bad. But it was a pretty big show. It's Mob Deep.
Yeah, right.
Trying to think if there's something else that I did that obviously I opened for KRS-One a few times. Those have been pretty
Okay.
big shows. Um
All those are here in Orlando or elsewhere?
yes, but I did a few shows with KRS-One in Texas, like a little run that my homie booked. So yeah, I've opened for KRS in Texas as well.
Very nice. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love how you just subtly drop like one of the biggest names in hip hop too. Yeah, just hoping for KRS One, you know what I mean? Because I did see the song nowadays has KRS on it.
Hmm.
You sampled one of his joints, or he recorded that basically for your joint?
So Swam sampled that for the song, and then at one of the shows that I opened for him at, my videographer, Varys Tower, he's done a couple of my videos. He was like, we need to get him in the video. We were doing a music video. We were planning to do a music video for it. He's like, we need to get him in the video saying that part, saying that part.
Right.
And I was like, this is awkward. So story is, went backstage, walked up to him. I was like, yo, so my producer sampled you in a hook for a song, and we were wondering if you'd be down to jump in the video.
Oh,
And it's kind of a weird thing to ask because you straight up sampled this dude's voice, you know what I'm saying? But it's hip hop. So
right.
I don't remember how I worded it, but I think I mentioned that in some way, shape, or form. I was like, don't sue me, bro. Like, and he's like, as long as it's dope,
Yeah,
I got you.
right.
And I always say he hasn't sued me yet, so I think
I
it.
mean,
I think I got the cosign on it.
right. Well, no, because you're talking about the video in the mall, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
was just watching that one too. And I don't know KRS at all, obviously, but I would like to think him being such a pioneer and being so hip hop to the core that, like you said, as long as it's dope,
The
you got my
sampling is
stamp
a
of
part of
approval.
hip hop.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. And he agreed
exactly.
to be in the video, so obviously you want him over in some way, shape, or form, you know. He's like, I fuck with this girl, you turn. That was
He,
before or after you had opened for him, or like during.
it was before, I think.
Okay.
Well, I'm trying to remember because I think I had maybe opened for him in Texas before that happened. I don't know. I
Hmm.
do not know. I don't
Yeah, and I
remember.
guess I only asked because if it's before, that even speaks more volumes because he's just like this fan is just saying they sampled me or whatever, versus if you had already
Yeah.
opened for him a couple of times, he's like, all right, I'm familiar, I know that you can kill the mic, like let's do this. But either way,
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because there was a time like years ago before I ever opened for him where my old manager caught a video of me jumping into a cipher at one of his shows in Orlando. This was before I ever did a show with him. And I don't know if he remembers me, but you got to look at that. You got to check that video out. I'll send it to you. It's crazy. It's like this crappy quality older phone, and he
yeah.
started a cipher after his show or during his performance in Orlando. And I jumped in, and I just start spitting, and you just see him in the background like like geeking out. Yeah, it's cool. It's
That's
cool.
it.
But I don't know if he remembers me from that. I don't think he does. I don't think he did at the point where he agreed to be in the video, you know?
Yeah, fair.
But maybe I feel like because I met his wife and stuff, and I feel like he knew who I was before I asked him. I think. It was a
Yeah.
long time ago. I don't
Well, like I
remember.
said, I mean, he's probably met way more people than I have in my life. But like I was saying earlier, like once you hear the voice and see who the voice is coming from, he might have been like, "Oh shit, like this girl fucking rips," you know.
Yeah, yeah. I
But
don't know.
either way, shout out to you and shout out to KRS.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Swanberger, and I know in that interview I was watching, you had said he produced all your projects up to this point, correct?
Um, yes, besides the latest one, So Meta, which is just a compilation of commissioned songs that I did for Meta for Facebook, Instagram, Reels.
Hmm.
But yes, up until that point, all my full length albums produced by Swan.
Okay. I thought, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought that you produced as well. When I've seen you perform live, I see you have the controller in front of you. Do you produce kind of on the side or?
I dabble, but I don't have any songs that are on my own production. So
Okay.
I got a MPC Live 2 collecting dust. I've had other MPCs that have collected dust, and I started trying to make beats and sample on the 404. That's what I use for performing, but really that thing is just my compact DJ. It's
Yeah, fair.
amazing. It's a freaking workhorse, and you can just carry it anywhere and load up your tracks and just trigger them with the pads. And um, you know how it is being an independent artist and not maybe having a budget to pay a DJ or a
Right.
band. I would love to work with a band all the time, but it's expensive. So
Right.
yeah, that 404 is mainly my portable DJ. But I do dabble in production, and hopefully one of these days y'all will get to hear something that I produced with
Kind
myself,
of original.
me
Well,
rocking on
yeah,
something I produced myself.
yeah, that's why I asked because I feel like to your point of being an independent artist, I mean, if you're buying beats, that can also become very, very expensive. You know, that's kind of one
Mhm.
of the reasons I started making my own beats. I was like, I'm not that I'm wasting money, but like it's just more money that I'm giving away rather than retaining and focusing
Right.
on, developing the craft. But I
Well,
know,
and even better, like if you can link up with someone, like if you're an up and coming artist and you can link up with someone who is dope and they see your vision and they think you're dope, and collaborating is a great way to, you don't necessarily have to always buy beats. I mean, I if you like a producer, it's worth it to invest in it, but if you're blessed enough to find somebody who is just like down to collab,
yeah,
like your homie, and they're dope and they think you're dope and you guys believe in each other, then that's how like legendary groups get put together, you know what I'm
right.
saying?
No, yeah, absolutely. I guess I'm thinking more back to like when I'd first started and you don't know anyone. You're like, well, fuck, I can't just keep using YouTube beats. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, no, for sure. No, it's great to have that option now and to be able to like find producers anywhere because of the internet. It's crazy. And
yeah,
I love seeing producers, beat makers get paid. I also think that if you're again blessed enough to find someone to collaborate with that you can build with, there's a different kind of energy there if you're building together,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, than just like being like, I'm gonna rap to this beat. Which, listen, that's a lot of my career has been like that, where I'm just like, someone throws me a beat and I rap on it, and you don't have that luxury all the time. But
Right.
if you can sit and collaborate with someone and like have that energy mesh, I think like magic can happen in that situation.
No, absolutely. Yeah, shout out to Eighth Letter again. We got one joint that's going to be coming out soon, and I know I'm trying to link up with him again because the same thing, like just not only just collaborating and kind of meshing the energies, but seeing a beat created from thin air. You know, when you show up in the session, there's nothing there yet, and then by
Yeah,
the end of the session, it's like boom, all right, this is what we're working on. This is the instrumentation, the samples, whatever. And yeah, it's different.
it
Alchemy.
definitely is alchemy for sure. Yeah, shouts to Eighth Letter, man. He's a good homie to link up with, and he's always just like creating. So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. That dude is a fucking mad scientist.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Um, I also saw a lot of your posts are you what looks like you're performing in a classroom. So I didn't know, are you a teacher or that's like more of a educational hip hop program you're involved with or what's going on there?
So I occasionally teach hip hop workshops
Okay.
to youth, and I've done it trying to do it more while I'm on tour and like fill some of the space with doing that with different nonprofits in whatever city, state I'm performing in or I'm touring in. But I've done it locally a bunch, and I did it multiple times for like a consistent amount of time with a local nonprofit called CFC Arts. I don't know if you've heard of them.
EFC Arts. I don't think so.
Yeah, they're really cool. They mainly, I think they started off mainly doing theater and choir singing. So it's their slogans like making the arts affordable for everyone. So they go on like a sliding scale, and there's summer camps for kids and programs. Like it's just like they do everything at this point, acting, theater, I think visual arts, music, and just a bunch of different arts and dancing, I think.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, I teach hip hop workshops. Like usually it's 60 to 90 minutes, and it's generally, like I said, for a nonprofit organization, or I did it at the library, the downtown library at the Melrose
Melrose.
Center.
Very nice. Shouts out.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just a good way to, I don't know, pass on the hip hop to the youth. It's a kind of a passion project thing for me.
No, absolutely. And like, what are you teaching them kind of how to write songs, how to formulate rhymes, or just the whole package, basically?
Yeah, so I usually start off with like a little performance just to introduce them to like, all right, this is what I do,
Hmm.
and get my street cred real quick. And then
Classroom
and
cred.
it yeah. And then I will teach a little bit about like hip hop history and the culture and the
Okay.
elements and stuff. So I'll do like a little lesson, and then we'll jump into like a writing activity, and they get a chance at the end to perform it over like perform what they wrote on a beat. Sometimes depending on the age of the kids, we'll write it together as a class and then perform together. But at the end they get to perform either what they wrote or can freestyle. I'll throw on some beats and we'll do like a little open mic at the end.
Nice. Any
Yeah.
young E-turns coming out of these classes?
There I've seen some kids crush it, man. And I definitely like let them know. I'm like, keep practicing.
Right.
Like you could be good at this. So yeah, there's some kids out there that like that can, they can ride a beat, like
Right. Well, I mean,
some
with
kids
it,
are just like, I don't know where this is at. Some adults are like that,
yeah,
but
yeah. Well, especially with the internet these days, like kids have access to YouTube and all this stuff, so they've probably been watching videos for God knows how long, and I mean that's fucking awesome. That's the beauty of the internet. There's a lot of negative shit that comes with it, but like the access to information and that side of it is something to be spoken about as well. So that's dope.
for sure. And access to like be able to dig more music than just what's played on the radio, you know?
Yeah, digging
Like if
in.
we had that ability when we were younger, I don't know, man. Like it's crazy
Yeah, digging in the digital crates is a whole nother thing.
for sure.
Um, So you'd mentioned touring. Do you have any favorite cities you've been to on tour? Any favorite venues, shows, or anything? Any tour stories you want to share?
Um,
Or any unfavorable ones that stick out? Any touring
oh Lord,
nightmares?
there's a lot of those. There's a lot of those.
Yeah.
Um, Favorites, definitely like certain cities in Europe
Mm,
that I've played in are real cool experiences. Like I remember, oh man, I'm trying to remember the city in Germany that I played at. It's called Wiesbaden, I think.
mm,
Is that Wiesbaden? But anyway, it was in this little um like really small underground bar, and it was like it had like a basement party vibe, you know?
okay.
Those are the best when like a show has like a basement party vibe and
Yeah.
everybody's just so into it and it's intimate. There's a very intimate show and it was in Germany and all these cats like just lost it during our show. Like they just loved it and so much love and just had this, like I said, like basement feeling where it's like it's just different. So Wiesbaden and in Germany. I played in Zurich
Mm,
and that was pretty cool. Um, Trying to think of some other like cities. Oh, when we played in Berlin, the under the stage at the venue was where the artist stayed. So they have a basement like apartment. So literally right under the stage where I performed that night is where I slept, like right under the stage. So that was pretty cool.
the
So,
definition of underground hip hop.
you know what I'm saying?
And
Yeah, I like that.
is it just me, or does it seem like international crowds appreciate underground hip hop more than Americans do?
Yeah, it's like the 90s and I don't know if it's changing at this point. It's been a few years since I've been out there, but like it's like the 90s for hip hop out there.
I wonder if it's like Americans are just desensitized to it or something. But anytime I see, artists that I listen to, because I feel like more of what I listen to is not quite mainstream, you'll
Mhm.
see them touring in Europe and shit versus touring in the US. And it's almost night and day between crowd
Mhm.
interaction, crowd reaction, just people being into your shit. Like they might you be in Japan or something, they don't even know what they're saying as far as your lyrics, but they know it word for
They
word.
love
It's
it.
fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, they love it. They love it. It's the origin, you know.
Yeah, I
Hip
guess.
hop is an American art and
Right.
American culture, and yeah, they love it out there.
That's crazy. That's definitely one of my dreams is to do some shows overseas. I haven't, knock on wood, I haven't been able to leave America yet with shows, but it's on the docket.
Yeah, heck yeah, do it. It's not a like super hard thing to do, you know. And obviously, if you have any questions on anything, let me know.
Oh yeah, no, I appreciate that. And I told you I also wanted to get into your voice acting career. So you mentioned in the beginning you had a new audition. I've seen a couple of your clips you've posted, the hip hop fairy tale. If correct me if I'm wrong, but you did like a Target commercial or something as well.
Kmart,
Kmart. Okay. Damn,
which
rest in
is
peace, Kmart.
obviously no longer in existence.
Yeah.
That was the first I did a few commercials for Kmart like a little over 10 years ago. It was like their last little try at trying to survive.
Yeah.
And that but Kmart was the first voiceover I ever did.
Okay. And how'd you get involved with doing that?
So they had me audition for an on-screen role first for being like a rapping lunch lady.
Nice.
And if I got it, they would fly me to LA and put me up, and it was good pay. And
Yeah.
I didn't get it. And this chick that I know from Minneapolis, Desdemona, got it. And
Okay.
I'm glad because she fit that role like
Okay.
so good. Um, But anyway, so after that, I didn't get it. They were like, "But you should audition for some voiceover stuff," because they wanted specifically to bring in more like rappers and specifically women rappers into the marketing and the brand. And so the way I got hooked up with the original on-screen audition, by the way, was Peyton Locke from Jacksonville, rest in peace.
Okay.
He's like a legend in Jacksonville. And someone asked him from the industry, like, "Hey, do you know a female rapper you could link me with?" And he thought of me and he linked me up with them. It was an agency. And anyway, so I auditioned for the voiceover and I got it. And then I got a few more. And then I randomly got like a $14,000 check in the mail. And I was like, what
Yeah, this is awesome.
the most money I've ever made in my entire life. I'm like, this is a whole thing. And what's funny is I definitely like wanted to continue with voiceover at that point, but I was so focused on my music
Hmm.
that I just couldn't really grasp diving all the way into voiceover back then. Like I said, it was like about 10 years ago.
Okay.
So I dabbled in it and I learned about it and I would try to get jobs here and there, but it really takes a lot of dedication for any craft for you to like you got to focus on it to really be
Right.
successful with it. And I was very much like immersed in my music in hip hop. And so um it's just within the last couple of years that I've really been like, all right, I want to really focus on voiceover. So I've been doing that more the last like 2, 3 years. And
Would you say more than music or just more than you had previously?
yeah, more than music at this point.
Okay.
I kind of made a decision. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask, like, if you had a preference between the two, or if you had to choose a career in either one, if you would lean either way.
I mean, I love music first and foremost, you know. So that's kind of always, like I said, been my thing. So probably like I love music more.
Okay.
But I just had some what I feel like were divine signs over the last couple years of like after COVID happened, like I was touring full time before COVID, and then COVID happened, and I just haven't been able. I was actually starting to make some decent money, you know, touring, and then
Right.
that happened, and the world shut down, and I just got sick of struggling, man. Like it never really came back the way I needed it to feel like, okay, like I can comfortably pay my bills. I don't need to be freaking rich off my music. I would love to be. That'd be great, but like I'm an adult. Like I gotta pay
Yeah.
my bills.
Right.
And after COVID, man, it just freaking it was like I got kicked back down, like all the way down to the bottom again, you know?
Hmm.
And then I won this scholarship that I applied for, like it's probably like 2 years ago now, and for a voiceover conference, and they flew me out to LA,
Hmm.
and I won all this like coaching, and it got me connected with some people in the industry, and it really just was like, all right, all right, God, I feel you, like,
Yeah. I'm gonna follow this, the
mhm.
follow the signs.
Yeah, and it was like out of like 1,500 people or something that I was a top five finalist for.
Nice. Congrats.
And yeah, thanks. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna focus on this. I'm gonna step back a little bit from music and focus on this. And um yeah, I've just been hustling. I'm still doing music. It's so funny. As soon as I made the decision to step away a little, it's like, wait, come back. Like all these people start popping
Yeah.
up and my old manager like wants to work with me again. And but I'm also in a very like transformational place in my artistry right now. Your girl E-Turn's kind of like becoming a Christian right now. I'm like getting closer to God, and that's never been, I've always believed in God, but that's never been a big part of my life. And I'm just being pulled in that direction. And so I don't know what my music's gonna look like. Like some of my older music, I don't even feel connected to anymore
Right.
because of where
Yeah.
I'm moving spiritually. And so I think that this is a transformational place for me, and that gives me a little more space also to focus on the voiceover.
Fair enough. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, you know. So it's just it sounds like growth to me, you know, evolution, you know, growing as a person. And I also feel like the market for Christian music, at least from what I've seen, seems to be growing.
Oh yeah.
it also sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like you can succeed in voiceover basically from your home, where the music you kind of have to tour, you got to travel around and do all these things to make
Yep.
it successful. But
Yep.
voiceover, I mean, you just did your audition
Do it.
from your crib, I'm assuming.
Yep. You do it all from home. Everything's
Yeah.
remote these days. So it's very true. It is very true. Which is like a gift and a curse, because sometimes you're just like uh a hermit.
Going a
You're
little
just like,
stir crazy.
yeah, isolating yourself. Like this voice actor made a merch item a while back. I've seen some people wearing it. It says, what is it? What does it say? I talk to myself in a padded room for a living or something like that. And it's like, yeah, it actually does make you a little crazy sometimes. You're just sitting in a freaking booth all day, like talking to yourself.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But then I guess, devil's advocate, like some people are studio musicians where it's probably the same shit. You're just in a studio all day, whether you're doing, I
Hmm.
guess, like a writer or whatever the case
Yeah,
may.
exactly. Because a lot of artists and musicians these days they're writing for sync. They're
Right,
writing for sync licensing. That's how they make their money.
right,
And whether or not they tour, but yeah, they sit there all day writing music. That's
right.
true. Very
Oh
true.
yeah, I've been trying my hand at both of those, and they're both a little more complex than I originally anticipated, for sure.
For sure. It's a different animal for sure.
Different
I
beat.
um I was gonna say to one of your other comments, I don't know what my music's gonna turn into. Right now, I'm not like I'm gonna make Christian music. That's not where
Right,
I'm at. That feels forced to me. If it comes, if God brings that into my life, I'm just like whatever. Like tell me what I'm supposed to do. My ears are open. But I think a nice way, a nice place for me right now is like I can, and I've always talked about God in my music to a degree, but it doesn't have to be Christian music. Like,
right.
uh, you know, it can just be um conscious music like I always do, and maybe the themes change a little bit, and maybe yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm getting conjumble kind of, but like you get
No,
what I'm saying.
yeah, I feel you, especially because people define God so differently. The source, Allah, whatever you want to call it. And to your point earlier, like I haven't had the same calling as you being drawn towards Christian music, but even I'll listen back to joints that I recorded in like college that are raunchy as hell, and I'm just like, the fuck
Hmm.
is this, man?
Hmm.
Like, I don't even know
Hmm.
who this dude is.
Yeah, yeah, for real. Yeah, there's stuff I just can't even listen to anymore that I grew up listening to. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I
Right.
cannot.
Yeah, but it's
But
all
yeah.
about growth. It's all about, evolution, like we said. And that's good. That's good that you found your lane, and even if it pivots from time to time, as long as you keep moving forward, like I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm very happy with the the pivots that are happening in my life right now. Like I
Yeah.
feel less fearful than I've ever felt in my life. So
Very
it's a
nice.
good feeling.
Well, and like we said earlier too, I mean, one of those pivots could also be production. Then you don't have to write anything. You're like, I'm just
Yeah.
making the sonics of everything now.
I'm glad you said that because I've been thinking about that a lot lately. I'm like, I don't have to write lyrics right now. I could
Right.
just, yeah, that's a good point. All right. Well, that's what I'm doing then.
That's a sign.
A sign.
Well,
Exactly.
that is one thing that I've found. I don't know about you and your writing process and all that, but like being an artist and producer, because I grew up a drummer, so that naturally I feel like led to me making beats and producing.
Oh yeah,
But
that's
I was
sick.
telling someone recently, I was like, for me, I have to be in a certain mindset to want to sit down and write. Like I have to be evoked by some sort of emotion, a story,
Hmm.
something happened for me to sit down and write lyrics. I feel like it's much easier for me to sit down with zero inspiration and just start throwing paint at a wall with production. You know what I mean? Whether you're
Yes,
just
yes,
listening to
yes.
music, oh, boom, I could sample that, or just
Good point.
fucking around on the keys and something kind of hits you that sounds right or whatever. It's more free, I feel like.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. That's a good
Um,
point.
but yeah, everyone's got their sound, everyone finds their formula and all that. So I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Yeah. I'm gonna dust this MPC off and
You go.
sucks because I was like starting to learn how to use it pretty well, and then I tried to pick it back up like a month ago and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot how to use this thing. So it's like if you don't use it, you lose it. Unless you've been doing it for years and then you drop it out, you
Well,
pick it back
sure.
up easier. But
But like we said with the internet too, YouTube University, you know what I mean? Just watch a couple videos, go down a rabbit hole. I bet you by next week you'll be fucking
yeah, yeah, for sure.
But that was really all the questions that I had for you today. Did you have any stuff you wanted to plug? Any new projects you're working on, whether it's voiceover, music, anything personal?
Holla at your girl if your company needs a voiceover for anything or um just worked on a track with Sean Shakespeare
Shout out to Sean.
that yeah, it's gonna be on the mixtape for the commission's volume 3, I think,
Oh,
mixtape
nice.
for their anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
Was supposed to come out on their 5th anniversary, but I think it did like people like rappers were slacking on getting the songs in time, which I feel you. I ain't
Yeah.
hating.
The 10
That
cent.
happened to me last year. But so that's gonna come out at some point soon. So look out for that. And then I got a few more joints like that collaborations. One with Homeboy Sandman. I don't know when it's gonna come out, but hopefully sooner than later. He's like, I don't know. I did a joint with Blue and it took 12 years for me to drop it. I'm like, bro, please no. I'm not Blue. I need your name on this song. Like,
Yeah.
help a mofo out.
Yeah.
But so we'll see. So look out for that. And then I got a jam with this is exclusive, a jam with Guilty Simpson that's gonna drop at some point soon.
Okay.
Um I'm doing these DTO live shows a couple times a month. So look up DTO Live Orlando and you can look at the schedule and see when I'm performing. Come hang out. It's usually next to some like local business where you can get coffee, food, there's tables, chairs. And also look at the other artists too. It's like over 150 artists, I think, popping
Right.
up all over downtown Orlando and performing, doing street performances. And um yeah, I think feel like there was something else that I wanted to shout out, but it's escaping me right now.
It's all good.
Yeah.
You're always welcome back on the show. I appreciate you joining us today for episode 114.
Thank you for having me.
And tell people where to find you at, all that.
On all socials at eTurn Music, ETURN Music, eturnmusic.com, and you can just search up E-turn, eTurn on all the streaming platforms or YouTube or whatever, and you find me.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, that's what's up.
What sound was that? I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it.
No. Okay, it's the point, point, point.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It's weird. Sometimes I can hear it on my end, or sometimes it doesn't really come through.
Fair. Well, yeah, because I think the mic's pointing this way. Once the final episode's done, you'll hear it, trust me, because I'm recording it in Logic right now, so everything will be solid and more whole, if you will.
Cool.
Um, but no, yeah, I appreciate you joining us today. We got a little saying here at the K Podcast for the Pod Squad. Stay safe, stay smart, stay sexy, and stay tuned. And I'm sure I'll see you soon because we live in the same city.
Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate you, E-Turn. I'll talk to you
Appreciate
later.
you
All right.
too. All right,
Peace.
take care, man. Peace.